Hi, this is Sarah from sarayip.com, Facebook The Numbers Queen, and Instagram sarayip1111 with your December 2022 forecast. Wow, wasn't that a big year? You know, at the beginning of this year, Chris and I were driving along the highway on the Gold Coast. We saw a car being towed by a tow truck. That car's license plate was 2022. At the time, I didn't have my camera, and I thought also I might leave that off the social media. But I think today is the day to bring it up. It's definitely been the year for a lot of people to have their quarter life or midlife crisis or just general breakdown / breakthrough, and not a moment too soon, as we'll see. So it is okay to ask for help. In numerology, life and help have the same 23.5 vibration. So if you want to be here, that's what it's going to require. If you enjoy this video and post, please let me know by commenting 999 healed below and just letting you know I'm reading from my post. So we're in a 6th universal year, which has been all about the third eye, which includes our mental health, our psychic abilities, and just general visionary gifts. And a lot of you will have had your eyes opened this year, perhaps to the reality of where you're at, but also to some of the dreams you've not yet fulfilled, which is the purpose of the next 3 years of this universal 9-year cycle. So we're in a 6th universal year, which comes from 2022. When you add that 6 to 12, the number for December, you get 18 or 9. So it's a 6 year, 9 months with the planet. Very, very interesting. So this is about group conclusions. It's about true love. It's about rewriting history. It's a massive turning point. Now in tarot, I've got the Radiant Tarot this time around. You can see this is the Lover's card, and it's all about balance, balancing, thinking and action, your yin and yang, your masculine and feminine. It's about a lot of sort of reflection and review, as I mentioned, and also being open to feedback, as you can see from the angel in this picture, and for the greater good. Now, in terms of the moon, I should mention there's always a few different meanings to cards. So traditionally, this is a card of illusion. It's about the dark feminine. You can see you've got the wolves howling, you've got the crayfish or lobster crawling out of the water. There's a little bit of a stern face going on, and the towers in the distance, lots of choices. So traditionally, this is about being careful of deceptions where you have lied to yourself, where you still have your head in the sand. Now, I'd like to add that you don't have to buy everything that traditional people say to you. For me, I think there is still a little bit of sexism in spirituality. When I looked at the energy of the moon card, for me, it's a lot about misunderstandings, particularly of the feminine, the lunar goddess, and the mother. And so it doesn't always have to be about lies. It can also be about turning on your intuition and just helping yourself more instead of always trying to use logic or facts to convince. So with the 2 wolves, we know that general metaphor. It's all about which wolf you feed. And yeah, this month of December, it's very much about feeding your passion instead of your fear. So some of the words with an 18-9 vibration include love, include dance, games, and clocks, lots of things that have moving parts. Look, 9 is the old soul. Even when you look at the number 9, it's got that big head, that big brain. You know, there's some of these people, they really seem to stay up here. A lot of their lesson is learning to come back into humanity. So the 9 energy for December, it brings things to a head, literally. I have a kitchen timer. I'll have to post a photo later. And the numbers just came off. They just melted off. It wasn't hot. It just decided they just didn't want to be there anymore. And I thought, well, that's perfect for my forecast because our concept of time is evolving very quickly on the planet. And in its place, we're sort of having to embrace this 1111 understanding that everybody is in divine time. everyone has a different life path, different ages of maturity, an individualized learning plan, which they decided mostly before they got here. And these are things that you can discover through your date of birth extremely simply through my website. I'll put links at the end. Now, as the 12th month of the year, December does blend those energies for creativity and cooperation. It's very much an imagination month, and hopefully, if you're watching this, you are taking a break, giving yourself some well-deserved rest. We're invited to really look for solutions for planetary peace right now that transcend war. Just working on a newspaper article about how the opposite of war is not peace, it's creativity, which is something that a spiritual teacher once told me. So even if we just throw in a bit of word magic today, the word death, D-E-A-T-H, it's actually 80% the word head, H-E-A-D, and that's not to diminish the pain of death. I've personally had quite a lot of people pass this year, and I work with many people at these sort of life or death points. But really, as you open your faculties, you will understand the majority of you and the majority of the people is always there. And I try to explain it sometimes as they've gone to the next Zoom room and you just need kind of the right link to access it, or even just the curiosity to look deeper. And it can bring so much comfort to look into your own, for example, past lives, future lives, things like that. It not only comforts you, it will ripple out into everyone that you know. I've often said the greatest gift we can give each other is just the understanding that we go on, we get a second chance. So expect some prophetic dreams in December, past life flashbacks, opportunities for forgiveness and surrender. Just remember that saying, you can be right or you can be happy. There's going to be a lot of subconscious churning for people, and it's actually possible to answer a lot of your big questions through this process. So use therapies for yourself like singing, music, movement, art, poetry. I've been going hard on the karaoke. It's going to help you digest your feelings, bring in guidance, and just open up in general. And you may be very pleasantly surprised by the end of December. You'll have a lot of the knowledge that you need to go to the next level in 2023. I do believe, looking at those numbers for December, that a lot of people will have an unusual Christmas. And you're likely to have a lot of new faces around you, or be in a new place, or there'll just be something that's quite different in a positive way, something that probably you had forgotten you loved, for example, might come back to you at Christmas, or someone. Now, in terms of chakras that are really being affected right now, I've already talked about the third eye, so the mind, but also the soul blueprint chakra, which is an invisible chakra. This is basically your connection to your soul, to the universe. So essentially, connect to humanity this month, maybe do something with charity or assisting others. Be sure to send love to those who upset you, even if it's just a prayer or a wish for them, because as Ram Dass said, we're all walking each other home. I think that would also be a lovely tagline to the symbol 1111. Now, who's in the spotlight for December? So anyone who has prominent 9 numerology, that could be a 9 life path, a 9 destiny, which comes from the sum of your name. Lots of examples are on my site. Maybe born on the 9th, lots of 9s in your date of birth, but particularly anyone who's seeing 999 or 000, you'll be very busy. And I would say secondary to that, probably 911 as well. If you're interested in those topics, be sure to Google my 9 life path page, and also my recent post on zero numerology, which is about the 0 point field. Now, in terms of dates for December, we've got the new moon on the 23rd, late in the month. That's a good time to reset. And what that means is, of course, the full moon is earlier, which is the 7th or 8th, just coming up to it now. So I do follow the moon cycles quite closely. I find that it really helps me to pace myself. I encourage you to experiment with the same thing. So with the full moon coming up, this is the time to socialize, to bring things out in the open. A lot of people find they're staying up at night with those dreams and things we talked about. But as we start to wind down towards, for example, the solstice on the 21st and 22nd and the new moon on the 23rd, this is a time to withdraw, not to take anything new on, just to allow yourself to cruise a bit and process. And of course, then we have Christmas on the 25th and New Year's Eve on the 31st. So if you enjoyed this video, if you like what I do, please connect with me. You can find your life path on my site, sarayip.com. You can join my online study community. We have a very amazing, positive bunch of people in there. So I host it on Patreon. We have a tarot and numerology 90-minute class coming up on the 10th. That will also include my husband, Chris. Then we have sound healing for the holidays on the 21st of December, which is a lovely way to round out this year. You can also buy a replay, book a reading with me. All the links are in my bio, and I'll also put them below. I'm currently taking bookings from February onwards, so get in there soon. The best time to come for a reading is when you need one, and also around your birthday. That was a bit of a joke. Okay, the baby's just woken up, so we better wind this up. Last couple of things. I've got my very popular 2023 annual forecast coming up on the 2nd of January. You definitely want to be there. There's so much electricity and buzz and syncs. I'll open bookings really soon, and then I'll be following that up with some live and online classes with my mentor Caroline on the 13th and 14th of January. So it's going to be an amazing start to 23. A universal 7-year of magic, mayhem, and miracles. I look forward to keeping you posted, and thank you so much for supporting my work. I hope you enjoyed this forecast. So take care, and I'll see you next time. This has been Sarah from sarayip.com.